Hello, my name is Christophe, and very happy to be here with you, your host this morning, where we'll meet two very interesting case studies. And we'll start right now with Kristen Van Cott, who is SVP of Creative Development at Skechers Entertainment, and also the co-executive producer of Zevo 3.
Thank you for all coming today. I'm delighted to be here to talk to you about the newest show, or the first show from Skechers Entertainment called Zevo 3. It's an animated 26-episode, 22-minute show that is 2D with 3D elements, and we're really excited that as soon as we get back from this show, October 11th, it's going to launch on Nicktoons. Currently, Skechers is mostly doing original content, but the aim is to create a genuine entertainment division that will bring in creators from the outside that match with, or that echo the sentiment of what we're trying to communicate as a brand to our families. When we started this, we had comic books that the kids came in the stores and they saw and they said, where's the entertainment? We created the entertainment, which is soon to be on the air, but to drive viewership and to encourage tune-in, we then took the sizzle reel and put 1 million sizzle reels in shoeboxes. And now the shoeboxes have become vehicles. We send out 20 million shoeboxes to kids a year. It becomes a vehicle to drive tune into the show. Traditional shows just don't have that. You know, traditional studio-made or network-made shows don't have that opportunity. And we've created a comic book that we now give out in the stores that's about the show instead of just to entertain kids in the stores. So it's kind of a perfect circle. I really think there's an opportunity out there for content to be created by companies that don't even know they should be doing this yet. I also want to point out that we were super vigilant about keeping any hint of commercialism out of our show. There's no Skechers anything in the show, no shoes, no apparel. The superheroes don't get their powers from shoes. And I think this is a way, a direction that hopefully everybody will be moving in branded entertainment. Just in closing, from a branded entertainment company that, or if anyone here is from a company that's hoping to create entertainment, for us, and I think for all of you who come from this world, content is king. We set out to make great characters, exciting action, and some comedy for the kids, and I think we've done that. And if we could make, the direction of branded entertainment go in a way that the great creatives of content meet the great capitalist creators to pay for it, it works for everybody.
And I invite now Dr. Naif Al-Mutawa. So you were a clinical psychologist, and now for 7 years you're working in entertainment, and you're going to tell us about the 99 case study, your show.
In kind of spending time with my boys and watching them learn from animation, it occurred to me that there's a lot of stuff out there that's pretty negative about my culture, and how do I kind of use that as a tool for them and as an extension for kids all over the world. So the idea was, how do I get into mining my own culture for positive archetypes and using them in a way that become more global? How do I position this in a way that kids all over the world want to watch it? Because the last thing I wanted to do was create something that only my kids were going to watch. And so from the very beginning, I thought, well, the way it's being done outside, it's based on cultural archetypes. So those who have read Joseph Campbell, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, this might sound familiar, but that's the thinking that went into this. So the concept, very simply, you saw a bit of it in the trailer. The idea is this: I took a piece of history and I retold the story. The other part of it was about perception. I wasn't happy kind of how things were being perceived in terms of our culture to ourselves. And so the idea with the 99, basically, I went back to a point in history that kids in my part of the world know, the fall of Baghdad in 1258. And bear in mind, when I did this, it was 2003. Baghdad had just fallen again. But there's a particular story in that time. You go to any kids in the region, you say, what happened to the books in Dar al-Hikmah? They'll say they got thrown in the Tigris. What happened to the Tigris? It changes color with ink. Every kid knows that in that region. I rewrote that story. In my version of history, that knowledge never goes anywhere. It's now back to save the world, basically. And the idea was basically that the librarians would become heroes and they save the knowledge. We've received just nonstop positive support from the media for the last 4 years. We're very, very grateful for it. Time 3 times, Newsweek twice, front page of the Wall Street Journal, Forbes. And it's been consistent consistently positive. And we've been able to launch the comic books. We've sold the rights in 8 different languages. There's the Chinese version on mobiles happening in front of your eyes. Top left is in Arabic, bottom left in English, top right in Turkish, bottom right in Indonesian. So that's another question for us was, is what we develop something that is global? Can it be, or is it just for the Middle East? Well, clearly it can go beyond the Middle East because we could tell from the comics. That's how we first test drove it. And the comics for us were very important because it was a way to get R&D that was semi-revenue producing, right? Because you can't change the look of a character after going through a season of animation, but you can after a couple of comic books. Our next test was, can we cross the format? And so actually the 99 Village theme park in Kuwait, which is an exercise in rebranding an existing theme park, launched in Kuwait a year and a half ago, and it was an existing park before we came into the picture. And when you compare the numbers for the year before it was branded as the 99 to the year after, the footfall went up 101% and the revenue went up 56%. So the park owners are happy. We're happy as a brand licensor, and we're now looking at other parks that they own. They actually own 8 throughout the region. The biggest thing we've done to date is, and the reason why I'm here today, is the joint venture with Endemol. And we've had a fantastic relationship. We've actually now committed to 3 seasons with Endemol. Season 2 is underway. Season 1's been sold so far in the US and in Turkey. And they're entertaining offers from other places. The most important part for me there was that distribution was intact. I didn't want to create the best animation in the world that no one was going to watch. I promised my investors that this could not be another made in fifth world country production. This was going to be Superman, or wasn't worth my time or their money. How do you measure that? You measure it with the fact that this month, on October 27th, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the rest of the Justice League will be getting together with the 99 in a crossover published globally by DC Comics. And it's the first time in history that characters that represent our different parts of the world get together to have that conversation that's never been had between democratically selected, albeit not elected, cultural icons. And the stories do start with distrust and move over to trust, because the storylines will clearly show that when there's distrust, the bad guys win, and there'll be bad guys there from both character universes teaming up against the better good.